I had to use the gavel. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Tuesday, February 28th meeting of the Garden Grove City Council. We'll open briefly just to take roll, do the invocation and pledge, and then I'll hand it over to Housing Authority. So, Madam Clerk, can you please call roll for City Council?
Councilmember O'Neill.
I am here.
Councilmember Tran.
Yeah.
Councilmember Dovin.
Present.
Councilmember Klopfenstein.
Here.
Councilmember Wynn.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Breitigam.
Here.
And Mayor Jones.
Here. May I ask Assistant City Manager Maria Stipe to do the invocation, followed by Councilmember Klopfenstein to lead us in the pledge.
Sure. If everybody could please stand and prepare yourselves according to your faith. Dear Heavenly Father, we humbly ask that you bless everyone gathered here this evening and the work that we seek to do. Help us to collaborate and work in harmony as we strive to make the best decisions for our community. Purify our intentions, strengthen our purpose, and grant that in serving our Garden Grove community, we may also serve you. Amen.
Amen.
Please place your hand over your heart. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, and before I hand it over to Housing Authority, I would just like to note a special guest in the audience tonight, Mayor Bruce Broadwater. Thanks for being here. All right, I'll hand it over to Chair Breitigam for Housing Authority.
Thank you. Now we'll start off with a roll call, please.
Commissioner Beckles.
Here.
Commissioner Dovin. Commissioner Jones.
Here.
Commissioner Klopfenstein.
Here.
Commissioner Tan Nguyen.
Here.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Here.
Commissioner Tran.
Here.
Vice Chair Kim Nguyen.
Here.
And Chair Breitigam.
Here. I have no cards for oral communications for Housing Authority. Is there anybody wishing to speak during public communication, oral communications? Seeing none, we will close oral communications and move up to consent. Entertain a motion.
I'll move the consent.
I'll second.
Motion, we have a second. Call for the vote.
I second it.
You second too, huh? We got a third too. How's that?
I'm going to do a roll call vote.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Beckles.
Here.
Commissioner Dovin.
Present.
Yes,
Oh, is that? Okay.
consent.
Consent. Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Klopfenstein.
Yes.
Commissioner Tan Nguyen.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill. Commissioner Tran.
Yes.
Vice Chair Kim Nguyen.
Yes.
And Chair Breitigam.
Yes.
Motion received, 9 yes votes.
Good. All right, we'll move over to matters. Do we have any matters from commissioners? Nope. Seeing none, we will adjourn. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the Garden Grove Housing Authority will be Tuesday, March 28th at 5:30 p.m. in the Community Meeting Center. Back to City Council.
All right, we will reconvene City Council. Before we go on to presentations, I'd like to pull item 3A forward for vote quickly as it pertains to our first presentation. So if I could pull consent item 3A and move approval.
I'll second.
Call to vote.
Oh, pull forward.
Motion received, 7 yes votes.
All right, presentations, item 1A, Community Spotlight in recognition of City Manager Scott Stiles for his service to the City of Garden Grove.
Thank you, Mayor. And tonight, the Garden Grove City Council is very pleased to honor City Manager Scott Stiles, who has diligently worked alongside the City Council for more than 7 years, managing the administration of all city departments and services. Scott has been an exceptional leader for Garden Grove, bringing his expertise, dedication, and passion to serving the community. Would City Manager Scott Stiles please come forward? Scott should know just how to do this.
I watched
Gets his pick. So after a 5-month nationwide search, Scott began his career with the City of Garden Grove on August 3rd, 2015 as Garden Grove City Manager. How time flies. Scott, a Cincinnati native, formerly served the City of Cincinnati, Ohio in various municipal management roles for 26 years, which included his role as former Assistant City Manager. Scott embraced Garden Grove as his new home and workplace by immersing himself in the community culture, by regularly attending and participating in city and community events, ribbon cuttings, neighborhood meetings, and many more local happenings. He quickly built strong relationships with businesses, neighborhood groups, and organizations such as the Boys and Girls Clubs of Garden Grove, the Garden Grove Chamber of Commerce, and the Garden Grove Unified School District. During his 7-year city manager tenure, Scott oversaw Garden Grove's then 9 city departments and nearly 700 city employees dedicated to serving the Garden Grove community. Under his leadership, the city fulfilled several major accomplishments, such as furthering new economic development initiatives, including the Great Wolf Lodge, Brookhurst Place, Garden Brook Senior Village, Steelcraft Garden Grove, and other reimagined Garden Grove projects. He successfully rebuilt the city administration executive team, demonstrated effective financial management, and launched innovative initiatives to combat homelessness. Even during challenging times such as the COVID-19 pandemic and structural budget deficits that Scott was instrumental in reversing, his leadership skills and passion for the community continued to propel the city forward. Scott's extensive work in Garden Grove has been phenomenal and has placed Garden Grove on a continued course to future accomplishments. As he begins a new chapter in his professional career with the City of Palm Springs, we know success will soon follow. At this time, the mayor and city council would like to present Scott Stiles with a resolution of commendation in recognition and appreciation for his 7 years of dedicated service to the city of Garden Grove. Without a doubt, Scott will be deeply missed and is wished only the best in his future career endeavors. Thank you, Scott, and best wishes always.
You get one for me, Terry?
Kelly's kind of important back there.
Look over at Terry.
All right. It's weird to see him on that side of the glass. I still can't get used to it.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. I greatly appreciate this honor. It's been a privilege serving the city. Before I forget, I do want to, since I forgot it at a little celebration they gave for me the other day, I do want to recognize my wife, Kelly. There were some comments about that later in the night. And my daughter, Nora, who's here. Our other daughter is at the university for a night class, which is where she should be right now. So she's with us in spirit. I did want to I did want to just mention for the, your family, when you're a city manager, they become involved in your life, and you get calls and over the holidays and at all hours of the night, in the middle of the night, and on vacation and everywhere else. And they kind of learn that sometimes life stops while you have to call council members or the police chief or somebody else to talk about something. And it's just kind of what comes with the territory, Miss Kim. So it's just, that's life. And so thank you to them for, bearing with this profession for all these years. It's not easy, and, their support has been really important to me. I'm not going to be too long, but I do want to thank all the members of the City Council for all your support. It's been just tremendous. And as I said many times, the council is, you have different political views, you have different perspectives on things, but throughout the entire 7.5 years I've been here, the city councils, you've looked out for your districts, but at the end of the day, you've thought about the city of Garden Grove as a whole. And you've always had the best interest. You've always been very respectful to me. I've tried to reciprocate that as much as I've been able to. And it's just been a wonderful relationship from my standpoint. And I think you're the envy of a lot of other cities around Orange County that really look up to how this council over the years has worked together and done things. So that's, I think, is really important, and it really makes it easy for the staff and the management staff to work with you and really try to make things happen. So thank you very much for all your support over the years. It's meant the world to me, so thank you very much. I do want to mention very briefly, I'm not going to turn around and look at the staff behind me, because then I'll get all teary-eyed and I'll get upset, but we have a great senior management staff. It's just a pleasure, working with them. They're all true professionals in their craft, and they all are just very, very dedicated to this community. I also want to thank, just besides just the senior staff that are here, really all the city employees that we have. And it was mentioned earlier about the COVID pandemic times, and as I said before, our employees were really heroic during that time and literally saved lives. And so that's not to be discounted, and especially the 4 people I see here sitting to my right, who have been confidants, good advisors, have really helped me along, and I can't think of 4 people that care more about this community and have helped me along during this time. And the other thing I wanted to congratulate is Lisa on your appointment to this position. It's an awesome job, very rewarding, lots of challenges, but it's just a great career, and I know you're going to do very, very well. And so congratulations. It's a historic appointment, and you've got a lot of great people working for you. And at the end, I just want to say the last thing. I just want to talk a little bit about the community. Garden Grove, it's not the richest community in Orange County, but I have found over the years that it's a community that doesn't feel entitled, and if you work hard, you care a lot about the community, and you really step up and you do everything you can for the community, they will embrace you and they will take you in. And as I think about all the things we've done in the community, everything from going down, spending time down in Little Saigon and the Tet Parade, over to Buena Clinton and the events there, going up Harbor Boulevard for our hotels and everything that's happened there, Central Garden Grove with our Civic Center and our Village Green and Main Street, and out on the west side of town on Valley View and Eastgate Park and the concerts. it's just been, those are all the things that I think about when I think about my time here. So, so congratulations to all of you moving forward. I'm very excited about the future for Garden Grove. I'm going to be watching just on the other side of the San Jacinto Mountains, watching all the great things that are going on here. So thank you very much, Council, for this great honor today. And, I've got one daughter in Chapman, so I'm, you might see me wandering around here once in a while. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Do we want to do that or just move on? Let's move on. Item 1B.
Item 1B is information on the 48th Annual Americana Awards as presented by the Executive Director Howard Kummerman of the Cypress College Foundation, and I think he also has a PowerPoint presentation tonight.
I do. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. Garden Grove has been a valuable partner with Cypress College and with the foundation. I thank you for all your support over the years with the Americana Awards of our students and all the things that you've done to support us. It's waiting for there it is. All right. We have recognized with your help over 52 Citizens of the Years over the years from Garden Grove with the help of an incredible committee from Garden Grove. This year's committee was led by Susan Lerma to choose your Citizens of the Year. You have a couple this year, David and Janice Skelton, who we'll talk about in a moment. Thank you, Susan, and the committee for all of your help and support over those years. Through your efforts, we raise money at Americana to help our students with scholarships, emergency assistance, and other programs on campus. And in fact, more than 900 students from Garden Grove currently go to Cypress College this semester. So you have a lot of students taking classes, searching for their degrees and certificates. Last year, Ginny Moore was your honoree. And as I said, this year we're looking forward to, isn't that a great picture of Ginny? And this year we look forward to recognizing David and Janice and our Person of the Year, Liz Dunster, the owner of Erica Records. Let me say just a few words about your honoree. That's our whole cohort of honorees this year from the 8 cities that we recognize. David and Janice Skelton are truly a couple in sync. They worked at the same company, Garden Grove Glass. They both enjoy traveling in their motorhome. They're committed to supporting their community in whatever way they can. They've even been known to color coordinate what they wear. I don't know if they're, not tonight. Both have been very involved in the Garden Grove community with the Garden Grove Chamber, the Elks Club, and the Strawberry Festival, just to name a few. And they have many, many more honors and activities that they each individually enjoy and participate in. But if you want to know more, you're going to have to come to the Americana Awards as we show their video and recognize them a little bit more. But here's just a quick video from them. Might need to bump up the sound a little.
Hi, I'm Janice Skelton.
I'm David Skelton. We are very proud to be Cypress College Americana Award recipients, Citizens of the Year for the City of Garden Grove. We would like to have you join us for this gala event that will be held at the Disneyland Resort Hotel.
Join us on March 11th.
I know it's quiet. Thankfully, we were all so quiet in this room. I think you probably got the gist. But most importantly, they told you have to come to Americana. We have an incredible opportunity drawing that night. For those of you that have attended before, we give away more than $10,000 in prizes. We have 2 electric bikes this year from a variety of donors, including Yamaha, and it's an excellent opportunity to win some great prizes. And we really do hope you join us on March 11th. We have an incredible silent auction, live auction, and it's just a fun night recognizing all the citizens and the Person of the Year for the event. And we also appreciate the city baskets that you have donated over the years from Garden Grove, which helps to highlight your city, as well as the ad in our program for Garden Grove. And we expect almost 600 people to join us at the Disneyland Hotel this year. I'm going to invite Dave and Janice just to come up and say thank you. Let's give them a round of applause and say thank you and congratulations.
So thanks, Howard, for throwing me under the bus for not dressing like Janice tonight. Thanks to the committee for honoring us on this special occasion that we're going to have on March 11th. Thank you, City Council, for giving us a chance and to be citizens of this, close to this city, but we have done all of our work, and all of our gratitude goes to the city of Garden Grove. Everything we've done in the past is directed at the city of Garden Grove. And as most of you know, I've been a 53-year member of the Garden Grove Elks Lodge, along with some of my fellow Elks on the council. I thank you very much.
Thank you, and we'll see you March 11th.
And I also understand we're returning March 28th here at the council. That's what I was told.
Yep. All right, item 1C, street medicine program by Cal Optima. Why is there an echo?
I know. We got an echo.
TV volume. Just need to turn down the volume on the TV. That's all. How about now? Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. Tonight we have a presentation from Cal Optima CEO Michael Hunt and the Executive Director of Medi-Cal and Cal-AIM, Kelly Bruno Nelson, to highlight a special collaboration between Cal Optima and the City of Garden Grove. So I'm going to, Mr. Hunt?
Great, thank you so much. Appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to you. Wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for Scott Stiles, so wish Scott every best success. I did mention that although I'm not playing golf much anymore these days, putting works really well and maybe at the 19th hole. So he agreed that might be a good idea. So my name is Michael Hunt and I'm the CEO at Cal Optima Health. Let me explain a little bit about what Cal Optima is. So back in 1993, the County of Orange had to make a decision whether or not they were going to build county hospitals. And they chose not to do that. So instead, what was created is what's called a county organized health system. And so what we do as a health plan is we contract with all the providers across the county, and they provide the healthcare services to those individuals that qualify to receive Medi-Cal health insurance. To qualify for Medi-Cal health insurance, you're a family of 4, you make less than $38,000 a year. If you're an individual, you make less than $18,000 a year. You have about 170,000+ residents here in the city of Garden Grove, and we insure 52,000 of the residents in this city. And the way that we provide that health care is through contracting for services. And we contract with about 2,000 primary care physicians, about 10,000 specialists, 45 different types of hospitals, over 300 different type of healthcare facilities, including skilled nursing facilities. And we also provide services to seniors through our program for all-inclusive care of the elderly, also known as the PACE program. We are not a department of the county. We're a separate public agency. We receive our funds from the state of California, so 90% of our $4 billion budget comes from state revenues, state tax dollars, directly from the state to us as the health plan. The other 10% of dollars come through the Medicare program, and we're reimbursed for services provided to our members through Medicare, principally through our PACE program, our program for all-inclusive care of the elderly. We currently insure, out of 3.1 million people here in Orange County, we insure 972,000. That means that 1/3 of the population of the County of Orange is living below the federal poverty level. That includes those on our streets that are unhoused or unstably housed. And so a year ago, the state of California started a program called Cal-AIM, California Advancing Innovations in Medi-Cal. And that program was created so that the health plans that are county organized, like Cal Optima Health, can now start direct care services. And we've never been allowed to do that in the past until the new CalAIM program. As part of that is the outreach to those individuals that are CalOptima members that also happen to be unstably housed and on the street. And so we undertook a process, and we started a conversation with Scott about a year ago to say, could we pilot a program in a city, and could that city potentially be Garden Grove? And so we're here tonight to talk about the beginning of that program in April, and our executive director over CalAIM, Kelly Bruno Nelson, is here, and we only have a few short PowerPoint slides, not many, to give you an overview of what that program is and what street medicine is not. So I'm going to turn it over to Kelly to give you some feedback on what this program will look like here in the great city of Garden Grove.
Thank you, Michael, and good evening, Council. I'm super excited to share with you about the street medicine program that we are going to be launching here in Garden Grove. This is a monumental moment because street medicine programs are far and few between. I believe there's only about 25 of them across the country, excuse me. So this is a big deal. And the reason you don't see a lot of them is because this need didn't exist several years ago. This is something new that we need, which is to provide care to our unhoused neighbors that are living on the street. So what is the goal of street medicine? It really is to reduce the barriers to care and to provide compassionate, person-centered care to individuals on the street. Similar to what you and I would receive at the doctor's office, we want to make sure that that's a comprehensive level of care to those that are living on the street. The program has objectives because, again, this is not just a drop-in kind of service. This is a comprehensive, well-planned, proactive approach to providing care to unhoused individuals. And so there are goals behind the program. The first of which is to provide participants with point-of-care medical care and reduce those ER visits by as much as 40%. We also want to enroll all of these individuals in Medi-Cal into CalOptima Health because, of course, having health insurance is one of the best ways to ensure that they are healthy. We want to connect a large percentage of them to a medical home. And then we also want to connect the vast majority of them to what's called enhanced case management or other community supports that come through CalAIM, which is what Michael was mentioning before. And then, of course, lastly but not least, we recognize that it is absolutely impossible to be healthy on the street. And so therefore the ultimate goal of the program has to try to transition a percentage of them into some sort of shelter or permanent housing. I like to say all the time that the best goal of street medicine is to put ourselves out of business because ultimately we would like to not exist. So that has to be a part of the process. The program that we are proposing and that we're going to be implementing is evidence-based, and therefore it has the person at the center of that program. We will be utilizing a trauma-informed care philosophy and a canvassing approach. The canvassing approach means that we're out looking for that individual. We're proactively looking for that individual and enrolling them. It's going to be comprehensive, and it'll have two teams that work in tandem. One is a medical care team, and the other is a coordination care team. So what services will these teams be providing? The medical care team will be able to do primary medical care, like I said, just like you and I would be able to receive the doctor. Labs, medications, refer to specialists, but also that necessary urgent care on the street. And then that care coordination team is made up not only of social workers, but also of individuals with lived experience that'll have the ability to really build the trust necessary to provide this care. We often say with street medicine, it's rapport first, care second. So having individuals with lived experience on those teams is imperative to being able to provide that. We would not be able to do this program if it weren't for all the stakeholders that were engaged in this. Like any good social program, design thinking has to be at its core. So we are very grateful for the partnerships of all the individuals and teams that you see on this slide, and we are absolutely looking forward to bringing this, what we feel is a pilot and an exceptional program, to your great city. Thank you. Here for questions if you have any.
Sure. Any questions, colleagues? Comments, questions? Go ahead, George.
For the AIM coordinator, was it your coordinator or director of AIM?
Me, myself?
Yes.
Yes, that sounds like a good title. Sure, I'll take it.
Is there a mental health or a drug treatment component to that AIM application or this street medicine?
The street medicine? So the question was, is there a mental health component to street medicine? And that's a great question, and absolutely. So the street medicine team has a mental health person on their team. It's made up of a doctor, a nurse, a mental health specialist, and then also a physician's assistant. They're actually able to do injections on the street in case of emergency, but also to provide medications and care, behavioral health. I will also mention that one of the partners that you hopefully saw on that slide was Be Well, and that we partner very close with Be Well as well.
In addition to the mental health component, the drug treatment, is there referrals for that as well available in this program? Or is that just another, we have to refer them somewhere else?
No, no, no. Enhanced case management is a core of this program, and it really means like every component of case management that a person needs, which is a part of this program, and part of that is drug treatment. So if an individual is interested in that service, that's absolutely something we would connect them to. So no, you wouldn't need anybody except us.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
Just a question and then a comment. Question is, since this is a pilot project, what is the implementation time, and will this go away after a certain time, or will be refunded?
That's a great question. So we use the word pilot to describe, meaning that we are learning and making sure that we include our learnings into the program. Pilot not meaning it has a short or a duration of time. We do not have any intentions of pulling this program from the city. In fact, the program that we've created has a sustainability model behind it. CalOptima Health is funding the program 100% in its pilot stage, and then when it passes the pilot stage, it will be self-sufficient. It is our hope that you will continue to want us in your city and will be able to continue to provide those services.
I'm for long-term sustainability, and I'm hoping you'll be also working with our navigation center and maybe coming back to kind of give us a report on progress after a year or whatever your timeline may be.
We look forward to it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Oh, sorry, was another
I was
question?
going to say thank you very much, and we're looking forward to seeing this program get rolled out in our city.
Thank you.
All right, we will now move on to oral communications. I do have a handful of cards, starting with Nick Dibbs.
My name's Nicholas Dibbs. I've known Scott Stiles, as you have, for a number of years, going to these council meetings, and I'm going to miss him. But I wish him the best. I'm here, as I have tried to say in the past, and you're receiving a hard copy of an email that I sent to you today to request again that the city please establish a much-needed City Youth Advisory Commission or committee to be tasked with helping to bring much-needed community awareness, prevention regarding the harmful effects of technology addiction, fentanyl, etc., as documented by research and numerous studies. I provided you with 7 attachments. In keeping with the council's passage of mental health resolutions each year, this serves as an important follow-up, this email and my comments, for you and the city manager to please establish a Garden Grove Youth Advisory Commission or committee as authorized back in 1971. We have Bruce Broadwater here, who probably remembers that we had a youth commission at one time in this city. And when I was a high school student, we had a youth commission with changes you can make to help bring much needed awareness regarding digital wellness and digital literacy, and even having ambassadors, youth ambassadors, peer-to-peer programs, and so on. Now, there was a hearing at the U.S. Senate that took place on February 14th on this issue of, and you have testimony in there, which you go to the link and you can bring it up. And it's the title of the U.S. Senate hearing is Protecting Our Children Online. and then the Assembly Bill AB 272 banning smartphones in schools is just an example of why it's important that this happen. Now, our students are in school 6 hours a day, but the other 18 hours a day, they're in the city. We're a partnership. It takes a village to raise a person. So don't just pawn this off to the school district. We need to work with the school district. We need to have a community effort to do this. That's why you need to bring back the youth commission or a youth committee. And the statistics are here. Evidence has shown that unrestricted use of smartphones by students at schools lowers academic performance, particularly among low-achieving students. You have the evidence is here. There's all kinds of stuff that you've been sent in the past, multiple emails. So it's a no-brainer, please. I need 2 people on this council, 2. I'm going to ask my councilman who wants to be the mayor in the future, George Bradingham, and hopefully Cindy Tran, who has a background in education, or Joe Divin, or Stephanie, or Kim, or John O'Neill. 2 of you, please put this on the agenda either for the next meeting or the next meeting after that, to have some sort of a youth awareness committee or function that we can get in coordination, like Be Well OC, to go across the silos. And I'm out of time already. I have 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cyrese Smith. Did I pronounce that properly?
You were very close.
Close.
Hi, I'm Cerise Smith. I'm the branch manager over at the Garden Grove Main Library, and I'm just coming by again. First, I wanted to say thank you to the first responders here at Garden Grove. We had a woman who was in severe distress at the library on Friday, and we had the paramedics, we had the police department, and we had Be Well all there trying to help this woman. It took about an hour before they were able to calm her down enough to go for services, to go to a hospital to be checked out. So I just wanted to give a shout out to our first responders. They're amazing. I believe the paramedic gentleman, Kurt Corbin, was just amazing. I just cannot believe what a rapport he built with this woman over that hour and got her to accept help. So thank you again so much, because we would have been left with letting her shelter in the library and then having to kick her out on the street when we closed at 5 o'clock because there's no options. So thank you very much for that. I just want to let you know a few things that are going on at the library besides amazing first responder care. We have a wonderful program coming up called Kinderpalooza on Tuesday, March 7th from 4 to 6 p.m. This is a program for incoming kindergartners and their families to give them an opportunity to speak with Garden Grove Unified School District representatives, Head Start, a variety of other community providers, to see what they need to do to have their youngsters be ready to enter kindergarten. So Kinderpalooza, it's going to be happening at the Garden Grove Main Branch on the 7th. It's happening at several other Orange County libraries throughout the month of March. It'll be at Westminster, I believe. It'll be at Stanton. But we will have one here at Garden Grove, Maine. We are now offering crafts for adults with developmental disabilities on Mondays. So we have a lot of people who are already in the library who are special needs with their care providers. So we are offering crafting opportunities for them on Mondays now. And we also have ESL conversation groups. We offer those, I believe, twice a month now, where people who can come in and be involved in a conversation group to help develop their English language skills. We have people from the Lincoln Ed Center. They will be bringing their classes over to participate, so we're really excited about those. So thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you. Teresa Tan.
Hi, everybody. My name is Teresa Chan. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator for a nonprofit called Waymakers. Once again, thank you for the Garden Grove City Council members who have already met with us about the issue that I'll be talking about. And I know we're in coordination with several more of the council members to meet about it as well, so looking forward to those meetings. But anyways, I'm here to read a letter from one of our residents who also lives in City Garden Grove. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to make the event. He couldn't find childcare on time, so something I did want to bring up and comment on for everyone else in the room. I am a Garden Grove resident as well. Something that was a concern is that a lot of people want to be able to attend City Council meetings. However, they just don't have access to these resources, especially people that I've been chatting with in District 6 predominantly. And so if it's possible for people to attend on Zoom, that'd be an incredible way to include people who don't have as much access to transportation or even language services. But anyways, I would like to read this letter. And he says, "Good evening, Garden Grove City Council members. My name is Jesse Martinez, and I live in District 6 in the city of Garden Grove. I'm here because smoke-free multi-unit housing is beneficial to the health of residents in our community. As a single dad and caregiver to my elderly mother, one of my growing concerns for our family is the effect of secondhand smoke on their health. In 2021, the American Lung Association stated that Garden Grove City received an F grade for their tobacco control grade for multi-family housing. And this is a big problem. Becoming parents, we talk about whether the baby is going to be a boy or a girl. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You just hope that your baby is healthy. As your child grows up, you want to be able to take care of them in the best way possible. And when babies get sick, it's a helpless feeling because you can't do much. They're small and you don't have a lot of options, and it's tough. As a parent, you do everything you can to protect them from harm. At my apartment complex, we don't have a completely smoke-free environment in both indoor and outdoor areas. People are allowed to smoke in their units, which is unhealthy for everyone in the building. And also in our recreational area, we have a basketball court, tennis, and a playground to go to outside for the kids to run around in. However, there have been times where my son wants to play in the playground and there are people are smoking there. I don't feel like it's safe to let my son play. Sometimes when I come home after running errands, my son and I pass kids who are vaping, and that's extremely frustrating. Our kids should be able to breathe air that's free of chemicals and toxins, and I want to prevent exposure of secondhand smoke to my son. Parents would do anything to protect their children, and part of that is making sure that they're raised in a healthy environment away from danger. Allowing our children to be exposed to smoking will make it more likely for them to be addicted to tobacco products when they grow up. This can put them at risk of getting addicted to other stronger drugs too. Think about it. When you drink alcohol, it is ingested and not forced onto others around you. People have the right to drink, but it is against the law to drink and drive. Drinking and driving have deadly consequences, and the laws are put in place to stop it. When you smoke, you put others at risk, not just yourself. The use of tobacco products spreads smoke that can't be contained. It drifts into other units and affects other people's health. People in its surroundings are forced to breathe toxic air. I ask you to meet Waymakers about having a smoke-free policy and protecting the residents of Garden Grove. Secondhand smoke is bad across the board, and by bad I mean extremely unhealthy. And when I was looking for a place to move, the biggest concern for me was safety, considering the crime rate and that we need safe schools and safe housing, which includes smoke-free housing to minimize the risk of danger to our families. It's an issue affecting our kids. We need smoke-free housing to protect us from the effects of secondhand and third-hand smoke. Thank you.
Thank you. Maureen Blackman.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff. For the past 20 years, Garden Grove's had two city managers, Matt Fertel and Scott Stiles. Well, Alan Roeder, but that didn't count. This shows a stability in a city that many other cities do not have. It demonstrates the leadership we've had in our mayors, our city council, our directors, and staff. I'm proud of our city for the continuity, mutual respect, and vision that keeps our city moving forward. That stability and cohesiveness is the envy of many other cities. I know it's not without a great deal of hard work and effort. Lisa, you've been given some big shoes to fill. I know you'll fill them, even if they have 6-inch heels. I know you, Maria, and your amazing central management team and your incredible staff will crush this. My prayers are with you.
Thank you. That's all the cards I have. Is there anyone else wishing to speak who did not? Oh, please come forward.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members and city staff. My name is Ruby, and I'm the part of the Andy and Aiden Safety Group. And our nonprofit group works with law enforcement to bring safety events with special needs families, just so we could all be out in the community in a safe environment, you know, practice crossing the street, calling 911. You know, during COVID, I fell down, and the thought crossed my head always, would my kid be able to call 911 on my behalf? So I think practice makes perfect, and it really does take a village to raise a child, especially one with special needs. So, you know, working with local law enforcement, you know, city council and the city and other groups will help our children be more successful. Cause less accidents by running out in the middle of the street when a behavior is happening. So, you know, to have these events, sometimes it costs money for our nonprofit. So the gracious Mr. Sam, the owner of Crimson Coward on 9816 Chapman Avenue, is hosting a fundraiser. It's been going on since yesterday and will continue until today, till 10 p.m. And he has been so gracious to give us 10% of all purchases, as long as you show our flyer. And I'd like to have Sam speak a little bit.
Good evening. Thank you so much for inviting me. My name is Sam Said. I'm the owner of the Crimson Coward Chicken Restaurant on Chapman. And when we were looking for a business, we always looked at Garden Grove, and it just called us to be home. It's the right diversity, it's the right income level, but what attracts us the most of it is its youth and its spirit. So when we opened back in October, we had John, I think, who came in, and yesterday Cindy as well was our guest. And when we were asked by Ruben and her team, could not be more than honored and humbled to be part of this community and reach out of it. And we're more than happy to do this more and more, and we'll be working with you more often. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak who did not turn in a card? Okay, we will close oral communications and recess to successor agency. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Member Brightigam?
Here.
Member Tran?
Here.
Member Dovin?
Present.
Member Klopfenstein?
Here.
Member Nguyen?
Here.
And Vice Chair O'Neill?
Here.
And Chair Jones.
Here. Okay, we already did oral communications, takes us on to consent. It's just receive and file the minutes. Can I get a motion?
Second.
Call the vote.
Motion received, 7 yes votes.
Any matters from successor agency members? Seeing none, we will adjourn to the sanitary district.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. This time we'll open the Garden Grove Sanitary District Board of Directors meeting. If the clerk could please call the roll.
Member Brightigam?
Here.
Member Dovin?
Present.
Member Klopfenstein?
Here.
Member Nguyen?
Here.
Member Jones?
Here.
Vice President Tran?
Here.
And President O'Neill.
Here. Thank you. We've already held oral communications simultaneously with council. Next we'll go to the consent calendar. These items would be voted on simultaneously with one motion unless anyone wants to pull one. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Motion and a second. Call for the vote.
Motion received, 7 yes votes.
Any matters at this time from any board members? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and adjourn until the next regular sanitary district meeting, which is Tuesday, March 28th at 5:30 in this room. Thank you. We'll return back to City Council.
All right, thank you. We'll reconvene City Council, takes us on to consent calendar. We've already acted upon 3A, so it's recommended that 3B through 3D be considered simultaneously unless anyone would like to pull an item.
Second.
Call the vote.
Motion received, 7 yes votes.
All right, item 4, commission committee matters. I'm going to ask that we continue this one more time and that we will take action on it at our following meeting. We still have a stream of applications coming in, and I also have yet to hear from a couple of my colleagues with their preferences. So apologies to those who have applied and are waiting to hear, but we'll continue this one more time and we'll get it done.
I'd like to speak on that. Thank you, Mayor and colleagues. I am not opposed to moving it to the next meeting, but I've stated from the previous meeting, we can't keep moving it without bookending it with some sort of timeline, although it is at the discretion of the mayor to consider the applicants and appoint them. The reason is we can't ask people to hurry up and apply and then tell them to wait. That is disrespectful for people who put in early, and we rightly need to apologize to them and ask for their patience because we are getting more application, and that's good news. So I'm in support of moving it for the next meeting, but let's try to bookend it. And I don't have a pick. Mayor Broadwater's here. I know he did things differently, but I respect this mayor, and he has his own ways, and he's conforming to the letter of the law, which I have asked Omar to provide me the rules and regulations on appointment of commissioners. And anybody who wants to have that, I'm sure our city attorney will share that with you. And good to see you, Mayor, ex-Mayor Broadwater. He's the one that coined the Jodovin, the hand wave. And I used that in my campaign, actually, Jodovin. I teach that to my 12-year-old daughter, and she does that every time she sees a Jodovin campaign sign. So, thanks to you, Mayor.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
sir.
just a follow-up. I again, another 2 weeks, but I just don't want to give the impression that we don't have a list of hundreds of names of people who have applied. Our waiting does not infer that any of these people are not good, qualified people by any stretch of the imagination. We do have a lot of names. I mean, this paper is full. I think there's a couple hundred names there for commissions. So I want to make that very apparent. We're not, just because you've already submitted doesn't mean we're not considering you. We're just looking at all practical applications. So that's all.
Thank you. General Counsel, do we need to take action to continue this, or do we just?
No, Mayor, you can just continue it.
Okay, we'll consider that one done. Moves on to item 5, items for consideration. 5A, approval of an employment agreement with Lisa Kim for the position of city manager. Is there any actual report, or do we just take action?
Staff report.
No, we, per state law, we actually have to have an oral report.
Okay.
Item 5A is approval of an employment agreement with Lisa L. Kim for the position of city manager. And Ms. Laura Stover, the Human Resources Director, is here to give that staff report.
Hello. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. I'm pleased to present the City Council for City Council approval, a city manager employment agreement with Lisa L. Kim for city manager services. The City Council authorized an internal competitive recruitment to fill the vacancy of city manager position in preparation for Mr. Scott Stiles' last day with the city. In closed session, February 18th, 2023, interviews were conducted by the full City Council. As directed by the City Council, staff prepared.
Excuse me, Laura.
Yes.
Some members in the audience not hearing you. Can you turn up your microphone? Please speak louder.
Sure. Is that better? Yes. Oh, okay. All right. As directed by the City Council, staff prepared a city manager employment agreement for city management services between the City of Garden Grove and Ms. Lisa Kim. The agreement provides for terms and conditions of employment beginning officially on February 28th, 2023. Ms. Kim has 28 years in the municipal management profession with various Southern California cities, including 16 years at the City of Orange and 7 years here at the City of Garden Grove. Ms. Kim joined Garden Grove Central Management Team in April 2016 as the Community and Economic Development Director, and in June 2019, she was appointed as an Assistant City Manager. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in Urban and Regional Planning from Cal Poly Pomona and a Master's degree in Public Administration from the University of Massachusetts Global. Ms. Kim has demonstrated experience in all areas of municipal management, with particular strength in the key attributes of leadership, community relations, collaboration, innovation, project management, and fiscal management, with strong ethics and a commitment to transparency and accountability. Ms. Kim's attached resume highlights her professional experience and her many accomplishments. The employment agreement establishes the city manager base salary and provides for benefits consistent with those received by the Garden Grove Central Management executive staff. The agreed salary and benefits for city manager are also commensurate with those of our comparator Orange County cities. As outlined in the agreement, the salary will be $292,074 per year. The city will also provide $21,600 towards health, dental, and vision insurance, $30,755 for PERS retirement, which is the employer portion of 10.53%, and $10,416 for auto allowance. All of those amounts are per year. The city will provide annual leave time as well. Vacation will be a 20-hour bank plus an accrual rate of 120 hours per year based on Ms. Kim's years of service with the city and according to the central management resolution. Administrative leave, 40-hour bank, and sick leave, an accrual rate of 96 hours per year. The city also provides insurance policies for Ms. Kim, long-term disability, group term life, and accidental death dismemberment insurance. The city will also provide a cell phone and a laptop. There is no fiscal impact. Funds for the city manager position are fully appropriated in the current year's budget. It is recommended that the city council approve the city manager employment agreement for Lisa L. Kim as attached and authorize the mayor to execute. This concludes my report. I'm available for questions.
Thank you, Laura. Any questions or a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
I have a question before we vote, please. I just want to share with the residents that we looked internally and we have found a very suiting candidate. The interviewing process took a whole day, and I tell you that each one of the members on this dais worked very hard to argue for the best candidate. And we made our decision after a long day of deliberation. So I want to thank the mayor and our council members having affording, especially me, who I'm kind of the hothead in the whole group here. But thanks to Laura, the process went very smoothly. And I just ask that the notes that I took on yellow pages in the interview is not disclosed to the public, but I guarantee you those questions would be the very same questions that you would ask of our candidate. So we represented you well in asking those questions, and I took notes vigorously, as so did the other fellow members of this council and our mayor. So those are on permanent records with the city. I don't know how available they are, but you can ask our city manager about that. We went through a very vigorous process, I guarantee you. And we're very proud of the central management team that we have now. And congratulations to both Lisa and Maria, who's on the central management team, and they are a team. So that's all I have to say, and I will vote yes.
Thank you.
Comments real quick? This is very commensurate with what other cities in the city, in the county are looking at. It's pretty close to actually what our previous city manager negotiated like 8 years ago, and prices and everything have gone up dramatically since then. So it's, keep that in mind as well. So Again, with that all being said, I don't think we have any relocation expenses this time either, so we save money in that regard. So with that, I'll be in favor of this contract as well. And I'll second it, I guess, or you already did. All
We
right.
have a motion and a second, and I'll call the vote.
Motion received, 7 yes votes.
Congratulations, Lisa. Do we get a speech?
If I may, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, I would like to say a few words. First, thank you so much for this opportunity to serve as your city manager. I think lucky number 8 has a nice ring to it. I'm excited to serve as your city manager and in the number 8 capacity. Scott was number 7, and Maureen spoke so eloquently that in the last 20 years, we've had a tenure of 2 amazing city managers that's led the city, and I'm excited to, carry that torch. It's been nearly 7 years since I've been with the city, and I've had the opportunity to really watch and work side by side our central management, our city employees, and I've watched their care and commitment to our organization in delivering services to our residents, our businesses, and our visitors. I'm excited. I'm going to roll up my sleeves. I'm open to all new ideas and tackle any issue, no matter how small or how large. Over my first 100 days, you'll see me focused on just really building relationships and reconnecting and rebuilding relationships with our residents, with our city staff, with our central management team, and with yourself. This is a tremendous honor. I'm super excited for this responsibility that you've entrusted in me. I look forward to working closely with each of you and delivering your council priorities alongside the central management team and our city staff. So thank you so much, council.
You're not going to make us do trust falls? No? All right.
Go ahead.
Congratulations. I just want to take this quick moment to say thanks to all the candidates who step up because, like Council Member Dovin mentioned, that the pool we were so impressed with all the talented and the skill that we saw from the candidate, and it was so tough for us we start from 9 a.m. and we didn't get it done until like almost 5 p.m. or something like that. But I just want to take this opportunity and want to recognize that the other candidate who stepped up and went through the interview process. So congratulations to Ms. Lisa Kim.
All right, thank you. Congratulations, Lisa. That will take us on to item 6, matters from mayor and council. There is one agendized, which is item 6A. Building, yes. Yeah. Building streamlining update.
All right, good evening, Mayor. Good evening, council members. Today I'm proud to announce that we have officially launched our development streamlining program. The program itself is Viva Civic, but we've indoctrinated the name Gigi Ready to give it a nice streamlined, user-friendly, easy-to-read presence for both the city and our citizens. So again, this was a long process. It's taken us close to 2 years now since the beginning of COVID. We did our research. We brought in a few companies to see how they can bring to our city a new program to help streamline the building and safety along with the other development departments' permitting process. So our approach to the new system was through various feedback through our public and staff. Some of the feedback that we got from our previous system and our previous processes was that there wasn't a very clear process or procedure for submitting projects. There was a lack of predictability, transparency, and continuity. We had slow responses and service delivery. There was late surprises and lack of access to information. All this was taken into consideration as we researched our new program and our new development system. Along with the citizens, there was also some internal challenges. We had finding a software program in and of itself. We did our due diligence in researching that. Training staff, the system integration, the system transition, and the timeline for implementation. All of this was due diligence from our IT staff, all the various departments from Public Works to Finance to our planning and building and safety, along with community services. Everybody had an input on the feedback as we developed the system. So we made the simple system of a process of an application submittal, an application review, plan check process. You process your payment, you issue your permits, and you have an inspection construction. Now we all wish that things go as according to those various steps. So we'll continue to develop our program and work through those processes to make sure that it is that easy, you know, as far as our program goes. And tonight we'll later give a demonstration of that firsthand. So some of the software features, we do now have a user login. So that gives the citizens the opportunity to create their own project, track their own projects, and be able to communicate with staff through the project and the permitting software. Some of the other highlights are an interactive dashboard, both internal, and we're developing the external dashboard that allows both the staff and the citizens to see the flow of their project from beginning to end and see what various part of the project that their project is in or various steps. And then we have step-by-step instructions. So it also gives the current step for the project and then also what the next step for the applicant is going to be. So that way they're able to track their project and understand what the next step is going to be. We've had some great, I'll just chime in on some website updates. I'll show you those as well from our IT staff. And then also we have permit-specific applications to help ease the process to develop the project, submit the project, and provide the information needed for both staff and our citizens. So the value of the new system is we're reducing staff's time. We're able to identify projects quickly and easily, seeing where or who's hanging up the project and be able to communicate thoroughly to allow that project to be processed and move forward. We're reducing the internal efforts by standardizing the process, so it's very easy as to what project is next and what step is next for the project. We're reducing, again, this is the official launch, and it's the official removing of paper as a process for the city, which is a very long and very prosperous process, which will help, you know, as far as the cost. Customers see this directly as far as large size projects. They no longer have to bring in those paper huge tree killing projects down to the city for the large scale projects. So we're able to maneuver those projects fast through the city. We don't have to courier the projects from different departments. Everybody can chime in from both at home and throughout the city. We've also increased the revenue by processing those times and those projects quicker. And also we have a transparency, which is the ultimate goal of this project for both our standardized processing and some of the state requirements. So at any given time, any public can see where their project is at and who's touching their project. So tonight we're going to take a look inside. I'll give you guys a quick trailer version of the program from both the staff side so you can see a quick understanding of what staff goes through, and then I'll show you what the citizens see as well. So beginning with how to find our site, how to find the development service, GG Ready. You go to the home page, under Building and Safety, and right here at the top you'll see the beginning of the development service website. So through this website, we will increase and give some more hand and user guides and step-by-step processes, but it gives you an overview of the general idea of what permits will be processed at the city and through this program. Then once they click on the GG Ready symbol, it takes you to, I guess I logged in, but there will be, and I'll log out so you guys can see initially what the login screen looks like. So here's what the platform looks like. So this is a platform that both the staff sees and the external citizens see as they log in. So everybody creates a login through. And let's see if I get it right. Let's see if I. All right. Yes. I know you are. All right. I know. That's good. That shows you how easy it is. There you go. So now we're in the platform, and this is what the citizens see. So the nice thing about this is it's very easy on the eyes. It's very front forward as far as what applications you're looking for. We've broken them down into residential permits, where you have your standard residential permits, you have your ADUs, your junior ADUs, anything revolving around electrical, mechanical, plumbing. You have your re-roof permits, your solar permits, and then your new addressing. You got your commercial permits, same thing as far as the breakdown, the difference being you have cell sites and sign permits. And then now we have the introduction of our engineering permits to the permitting software. So that was one of the bigger features that we had moving into this thing, was to incorporate the whole city's development process into our new system, not just planning and building. So we now have incorporated the engineering process. So as the citizen comes in and they've created their website, then they'll log into a particular program, they'll enter their address, parcel number, their work type, which comes from a pre-selected list of projects that they'll choose from, their valuation, additional notes, any contacts for the projects, and we take them through a step-by-step completion of the application process. So it's pretty easy. If there is any issues or if there are any assistance, they can call our office and we'll help them through. And this just isn't an online system. Through the process, they can still come into City Hall and they can still process an over-the-counter permit. We would just simply fill in the information for them, but everything is automated. So as the citizens complete their login, this is the back-end component of the system. So from what you see, the dashboard I mentioned, this is the staff side. You see that each application takes you through a portion of a display where we can easily track where a project is at. And again, if we need to enter in manually a project, we'll see that here. What's nice about our new inspections component is you can also look into our future programs, and the inspectors enjoy this feature. So in the morning when they come in, it will log into their different districts and where they're assigned to, and it'll actually show them on the map where their inspections are for the day. Before, it was like you'd print out a hand map, you'd do it by hand, or you'd punch into Google with a separate system. So we've combined the systems into one where you can see the times that are entered. Some of this stuff should be okay. Yes, somebody got corrections this morning. But those are some of the features. But once somebody submitted an application, our staff will go through and vet the application to ensure that the process is complete. Once they complete the process of reviewing it, they'll click on the routed components of the project, and it'll route to the departments that are appropriate for the project. What's nice is that what both the applicant sees and the staff sees is it breaks down the different parcel numbers, zoning information, and all the information that they've entered, along with their contacts, along with their plans, and they can upload those. So everybody that has plans will upload those into the system, and then that begins the review process. The other feature now is that they can also pay, so we can keep track of which projects are pending payments. We can keep track of the projects that are ready to be issued. And as you can generally see, the high number of projects, this system's been open for a little over a couple weeks, and these are already, as you can see, the received applications over that period of time. So in a matter of 2 weeks, we've had close to 100 applications already entered into the new system. So we are getting feedback. The citizens are enjoying the process. And what I'll show you from the applicant side is I'll pick a project here and give it to myself. So I'll pick one that is, we'll have some fun. So we got an application review. I'll come in and I'll pick an edition and I'll put myself on this project. I forgot I gave myself an alias name here. Let's see. Let's go. I'll give myself Tech. Where am I? Sorry about this. Where am I? I'll have to go into the back office. Let me see. I changed my username. Let's see what I got going on here. So, what I'll do is I'll open up and I'll launch a program and I'll delete it. But here we go. So.
Hey, we just rebuilt that building. Remodeled it.
So, and I'll show you this so that way, again, you guys can just show you the fun of things, just so you can see what it looks like going through the process. But once I process my application, how much does it cost at Demo City Hall today? Let's say $500. All right. a $1 million renovation and a $500 demo, right? So once I enter into my application, this is the portion of the project I wanted to show you in the program. So once I've submitted my project, it shows that I've created a draft and I'm ready to upload my plans. So if I don't have any plans and I continue the process, it shows me a timeline. It shows me all the information for my project. And then if I need to upload any files, it's here for me to view. So once I've uploaded, let's say I don't have any. So now what it's telling me is my application's been received. So my next step is going to be an application review by our city staff. So once we come in, so here's my application. So now I'm on the staff side. So as I go through and I route my project here and I create an application review, now you guys can see it's now telling me that my application is under review. So as each component of this project goes through the process, I get an email that tells me that my application is being moved along. So what's nice about this project is everything that's happening with the project is shown on a timeline. And as you can see here, building and safety is under review. So it tells you who's reviewing your project and who's reviewing your application. What's nice about this is once I've assigned myself to the project, the applicant now sees who's assigned to their project. And once they enter in here, they can see, again, the name of the project, when it was given to me on the date, and then as I'm going through the plan checks, I upload my corrections into the system itself. And everything is live with this program. So as I'm going through the process, looking at the different systems, it allows us to track the projects. And I'll pull into this one. And as projects go through, as you can see, they'll go through the different cycles for the plan check. And the plans that get the markups are right here for them to see. So they don't have to wait till the final review, they can actually get their live document corrections as they're happening. And then the digital component of this project is once we do issue the permit, they do get a digital, they can print their permit directly online. So even if they misplace it, they can always come back and reprint their permit. They can schedule their inspection. And again, it still keeps track of their project as they go through. It tells who was the permit tech that issued the project. It gives them an update of their fees. And then we upload their printed set of plans and their permit on file. So they can, so as many times as they lose their plans, they can come back in and they can also reprint their plans. This project, I don't think was an electrical project, so there's no plans on this one, but I'll find one so you guys can see what the stamp looks like. Let's try to find, let's go with resolution. So that's the application. And they can print up their set of plans. Yeah. Whenever they, let me find one, because this one did not. This was a revision. Let's go to issued. Let's find. Yep. Let's go with. I don't think it's coming up on this screen. But let's see. Let's go approved. Here we go. So here's what it looks like when someone does receive corrections. You can see those corrections for this particular project. And here we go. We got the plan, the permanent set of plans. And there's our issued set. So they can print up that set, typically require them to print it in color so it's the stamp that they can see on site. And again, there's not much we can do in the world of making sure that they have a full-size set of plans on site, but our inspectors do have iPads. So if they do not have the set of plans on site, we can pull up the plans through our iPad and do the review. So that is my demonstration for the evening. I just wanted to give you guys a little more. So now, at least through the public, through our demonstration, you guys can see what's taken us, a little over a couple years to put in place. And I'm happy and proud to welcome this new system to the city of Garden Grove and hopes to streamline our building and safety and development services technology. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Colleagues, Joe.
David, I want to thank you for the presentation. I think both myself and the Councilwoman Cindy Tran went to the ADU workshop, yes, and we encourage more of that to be user-friendly. I want to put in a little background to this because I had the privilege to accompany Mayor Broadwater 10 years ago to Anyan, a sister city of Garden Grove, and we were very impressed by their smart city concept. I think the mayor still remember. They are way ahead of us in terms of putting all the city services online. And there are many cities I work in, like Huntington Beach and Anaheim, which I see a very similar system. But I see our system is much, much more advanced and user-friendly than theirs. So a big shout out to you and your department for putting that together. And I actually met our consultant on this, very knowledgeable. But a lot of us are not techies, so we're gonna need technical support. I suggest we put technical support, make it available for that, and even language support to the extent that we can afford it. And I want to add, build in Garden Grove, kind of a slogan if council members and mayor think that's a good way to attract developers and individual developers. I'm not talking about, big major developers. I'm talking about moms and pops and individuals, families, one at a time, who's going to put in. And I can see those applicants. You're now at 100. I can see it skyrocket. I can see it exponentially grow. So you got your hands full. But I want to add build in Garden Grove as part of our promotion to reach out to developers and our residents who want to pull permits. So I remember under Mayor Broadwater, we started buy in Garden Grove very successfully. So build in Garden Grove, and I mentioned that at the ADU workshop. Lastly, I think we do have a way for people to leave feedbacks or otherwise, so we can interact with it. But I, as a user, I want to interact in this point, because there may be privacy issues that a lot of these information that people are putting online is available for other people to see, right? So I would like to add some sort of, not necessarily a disclaimer, but a notice so that Omar, city attorney, can put something together where people know that the information they provide is public record. Once they get a permit issued or plans are approved or what you showed us is public record. I don't think we violated anybody's privacy right by showing what we showed tonight. But if we did, I want it redacted, because I don't want people's information that they assume, they have an assumption of privacy, and then it's on a system that everybody in the world can look at. So that's my main concern. Please somehow work with that to let people know that when they're providing this information, then they can track their own application. But the system we have now, you can go in, pull up an address, and you'll see the permits that's been issued there. There's a lot of information there that's public record. So I'm big on that. I always want people to know that when they're providing their information, that it's not necessarily protected private information. It can be published and become part of a public record search. So I'm concerned about that. Please cover that downside. Everything else is great. Let's pull together and launch this in a big way. Thank you, sir.
Stephanie.
First of all, David Dent, congratulations. I know how much hard work this took, years of time, so quite a scope of work, and it's excellent. Obviously, the streamlining, the less paper waste is fantastic. It'll, I think, provide good communication and just an overall transparency to the process, which is definitely needed. And overall, it is very user-friendly. It's a very clean and organized platform, which looks great. You mentioned the iPads. So they have those iPads with them anytime they're out in the field, and they can access this entire program from that iPad. So if a resident or anybody has those questions, they're able to get that in real time for them.
That's correct. Yes.
Thank you so much.
George.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. And I'm going to tell you, from 6 months ago when I was screaming and yelling about, it taking 2 months to get a building inspection, to what it is today, I mean, you guys have worked literally a miracle. And David Dent, you deserve kudos for that, as well as Lisa Kim, organizing that stuff. I just want everyone to know, 6 months ago in the city of Garden Grove, if you were pulling a permit, it was going to take 2 months to get your inspection. As of 2 days ago, it's down to 3 days.
Yes.
Congratulations. Garden Grove is no longer the worst city in the county. We are comparative with other cities now. I'm really, really excited to be able to announce that. You guys have really grabbed those that bull by the horns. As far as this system goes, yes, it's awesome. I think there's going to be a learning curve, obviously, with the community and whatnot. So I do agree with Councilman Dovin's comment about maybe a little tech support, at least for that first year. You're gonna, there's gonna be some people need some help, especially elderly people, that are looking to put in a new water heater or something simple, and they got to, but yeah, I do have a question regarding, it works on the website apparently. Does it also work on the app, the city app?
Yes, there is an app version of this, yes.
Okay, so if I log on to my phone over the app, I could still access this and do all the same things?
Well, yes, on your phone, yes. Your phone, your iPad, it has platform for all,
Okay, perfect.
all technology.
That was my question.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you very much, and congratulations, both Lisa Kim and David Dent. You guys have literally worked a miracle in a very short time.
Thank you.
Improving down there, so.
John?
Yeah, real quick. Congratulations, David. That's a huge monumental accomplishment for anybody that's in planning or building. That was fun for David to go through that presentation. But it's amazing because I've been dealing with the county for the last 3 years, and they've been doing the same thing, implementing their online. And just for a builder to be able to download and upload their plans to the system, have everybody see it at the same time, it just moves it along so much faster, and the county's just getting up to speed on that. And I love this system to where the real time where everybody can access and see, because before when someone would call, they're like, they have no idea where they're at. Now you can go on, oh, it's held up. I thought I downloaded my plans, but they didn't happen. So
Right.
they can find out right away. So congratulations. It's a huge improvement to what we have in Garden Grove. So thank you.
Thank you.
Cindy?
Thank you for walking us through that, all those little steps. So now anyone that watched our city council meeting today, they will be able to just follow your step. So thank you for doing that. And just some of the council member already mentioned, I get a lot of input, comments about that it took so long and they were inconsistent. So by having this, people would be able to go in there and just see what have been done and just follow that. So thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks, David, for the update. It's not an action item, so we'll go ahead and move on to matters. We'll go around the horn. George?
Yeah, just two quick matters. Had a catalytic converter engraving again event with Councilwoman Tran, and we, it was a pretty good turnout. Not as good as the first one. I think we ended up with 41 vehicles coming through from all over the city, so that was kind of good. And it really is important, if you can get those things engraved, do harden yourself as a target. People go, well, what's the point? Well, they're going to steal it anyway. Well, the thing is if you get it engraved, the refineries and the recycling centers aren't supposed to take them in. There are some nefarious ones that still will, but and then they say, well, they'll just grind off the number. Well, if they grind off the engraved number that you put on there, well, that's the same as having it. They still can't take it. So also, if your catalytic converter gets stolen, it's between $3,000 and $5,000 to get that, to buy a new one. Some cars have 3 of them on there, right? So you have 0 chance of getting that returned to you if it's not engraved. 0. It's not going to happen. But if you have it engraved, there's a chance. Small chance, but there's still a chance, all right? So anyway, for all those reasons, take advantage. Grease Monkey Garage is now offering free catalytic converter engraving anytime you get an oil change. So they're doing that now as just a community effort to help out the community. So if you need an oil change, go out there to Grease Monkey and they'll do it for you for free as well. Secondly, this weekend, Saturday the 4th, Kathy Ladd is putting on the Great Chili Contest Cook-Off at Eastgate Park, 12 o'clock. One of the past winners is sitting in the audience right now at that event. I'll be there on Saturday. Yeah, and I know Mayor Jones has agreed to judge. Councilwoman Kloffenstein has agreed to judge. I'll be there as a judge, and it'll be a good time. I just would warn everybody, do not wear a white shirt. I made that mistake the first year, and I had chili going down. No white shirts. So anyway, that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of things. First, I want to congratulate Ms. Kim on your appointment. Well-deserved. Good luck. It's a tough job, and but I know you're up for the task. Thank you for all those that applied. I think we really prided ourselves on the council wanted to make sure that we looked internally first before we put any kind of nationwide look. But we knew we had the talent, in-house, and I want to thank those that applied and put their name out there. Thank you very much. It's courageous to do that, so thank you for doing that. So another item I wanted to say is that on this weekend, actually on Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Orange County Fire Authority. So your fire department that represents your neighborhood is doing an open house at their headquarters. It's at 1 Fire Authority Way in Irvine. It's pretty easy to get to. 1 Fire Authority Way in Irvine. It's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Orange County Fire Authority headquarters. And it'll be an open house for you to go see what they do, see the facility, see the apparatus, and they'll have all kinds of things for even kids to look at and for you to educate yourself on that. So see if you can attend that. That would be great. Also on the community cleanups. Unfortunately, with the harsh weather we had, District 2 was canceled and we're actually rescheduled. So I just want to let everybody know you have an opportunity from now until May 13th to hit about 5 different community bulk item drop-off. So District 2 has been rescheduled for May 13th. We're kind of at the tail end of it now because we had so many going already. So just look at the Garden Grove website, and there's a community cleanup like twice a month through May. So there's no reason not to get out there and clean up some of that junk on your side yard and your garage and go dump it. You know, that's what that's what they're paying for to do that. So with that, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you. Couple of things that I want to bring up. Would you please share the picture?
Yeah, sure.
So it depends on which picture he shared first, so I will talk about that. Okay, so this one, I just want to say thanks to Ms. Lisa Kim for taking the time giving the tour to the Navigation Center. Homeless is one of the things that I kind of deeply concerned or passionate about. So last week I got to see the Moving Forward team actually in action talking to the homeless at the corner of Brokers and Westminster. And then, so it just seeing this, and I was so excited to see the plan and other things that in consideration, you know, where we're gonna block the stuff, where the resident gonna put lock their bike or things like that. So thank you so much for taking the time to do that. I know that you're super busy, but you spend the time with me and walk me through. So thank you. And then next picture, please. Which one? Oh, this one is the Crimson Coward that the other lady mentioned. But I just want to say that as a city council member for District 3, and District 3 is the one that have the most business owner. So I try to promote the business in the district. And so I will go to different business in my district every week, and we'll try to promote them, and we'll post on Facebook and just try to. So if I think I maybe plan ahead, and then we'll invite any resident that want to come and visit with me or just have a coffee or something, I would love to do that. So that's the coming up. Next one, please. This one, I want to say thank to John and Janet for giving me the time to go over the park and recreation. So during the time, many people have talked to me about how we don't have a nice park in a way that, you know, we spend a lot of money to upgrade some of the park, and Garden Grove Park is the one that I go to. When I went to the restroom, it was sometimes it was not open. Or when it was open, there were no window, no light inside. When I went in there, it was pitch black, so I have to use my cell phone and turn it on. And then not even going there that, you know, without the light, but also when people go there, they get scared because, well, of course, there was no light. But I talked to John and Janet, and I was told that, yeah, it's going to cost money to get some security camera outside. And I asked him about that, and they said it's going to cost a couple $1,000. That, and then other things, for example, there's no walkway, how much it costs, another $1 million, and the road doesn't look good, there were crack and pothole. While I was there, somebody was trying to walk and they almost kind of fell like forward. And so I brought that back to our staff, and they're gonna take care of that. But one of the things I want to bring up is that I hope that we will find a fund to upgrade our park. We don't have well, there were a couple of the sports team that came up to me, and they said that every time they have the tournament, they have to go to Fountain Valley Park. And I hope that by bringing it up here, maybe the mayor, the staff, and all the city council members see the opportunity out there. If we could find a fund somehow, I'm gonna knock on the door that I could. I already knocked somebody up there, but we'll see. So yeah, that, and then I think one more picture. So this one, you know, I have been enjoying learning new thing about our city responsibility with council member Chodov, and I enjoy every moment with doing that. But last week, I had a privilege to do the event with our Mayor Pro Tem, George Whittingham, and I was so impressed with the respect, the kindness, and the love that he has for the business owner. And I mean, the lady that owned this place, she said she only owned it for 1 year, and she was struggling with, you know, getting the customer. And so I was there talking to her, but I know that you mentioned only 41 cars went through, but people that came, they embraced that. And one of the persons said with me that his nephew lost the catalytic converter, and it cost him $5,000 to put the new one on, and it was taking the time. So I think the little thing that you did, actually, that the people that came, they appreciate, and so that just shows how much you care for not just the resident in your district, but also the business owners too. So I feel so much love, and I just want to say thanks for that opportunity. I'm looking forward to a couple other events coming up, to help business owner and the trade school that I talked to council member John O'Neill, and looking forward to do something for fun and helping and serving our residents. Thank you.
Joe. Thank you. First, I'd like to, of course, congratulate both or all of our candidates, because it was a win-win situation. We couldn't lose with any of our picks. So I'm going to congratulate myself that we have a very, very well-qualified city manager. And I also want to thank outgoing city manager Scott Stiles. I didn't get to speak after our recognition of his services, but I think maybe he's at home watching or listening later on the video clips, and I'm sure he will miss us because we miss him. 7 years he was here. I think those were 7 fat years. In the Bible, we'll talk about the Pharaoh's dream of 7 fat cows and then 7 skinny cows, and Joseph, the dream interpreter, which I'm named after, interpreted as 7 fat years, good economic years, and then 7 skinny cows, skinny years, where we're going to suffer. But I don't see 7 skinny years following the 7 fat years. I'm hoping for 7 fatter years under Lisa Kim. So I see the mayor's vision, and he has full faith and confidence in our new city manager, and I'm going to put him to the test. And that means you got big shoes to fill. We'll be watching you, but we're also supporting you. We're here for you and the rest of your team. So we have what we were looking for, which is consistency and continuity, and we have that with you and your team, and I hope that team you're going to build on it, that we don't lose anybody. So that's my hope. I also want to recognize our mayor, former mayor who showed up today, Bruce Broadwater. I have a picture of you on my cell phone. I keep it here all the time. And you really inspired me to public service, so I'll never forget that. You're a friend and a mentor, and endorsed me in multiple races. And I'm here today, and I get to speak because of you, and I thank you for that. Thank you for everybody in the room here who, some of them are friends who haven't spoken, but you've spoken at other meetings. And I encourage everybody to speak up, especially as we go into our fiscal retreat next month. We're going to talk about the budget. I want everybody who wants to put in a concern or a request or a suggestion for us to go into our retreat as we discuss the budget. Please email me at joed, J-O-E-D, @ggcity.org. Joe, J-O-E-D, @ggcity.org. Email me any comments or concerns, especially, particularly as we go into the fiscal retreat for our planning for our budget. And because we did have 7 good years and we look forward to 7 better years, I'm hoping that we can share that with our staff. I'm looking to maybe add pay raises or take care of the pension plans that our pro tem mayor mentioned in the previous meeting. We need to take care of the people who take care of us. So that's what I'm looking forward into going to the retreat, and I want our mayor and council member to also have that same faith in our staff and in the well-being of our city. We're going to have more revenue with our new GG Ready program, certainly, and we should encourage more people to build in Garden Grove. Thank you.
Thank you. Stephanie?
Thank you. First of all, at the beginning of the meeting, we had a presentation from Cal Optima on the street medicine program. I just think that's such an amazing opportunity for the city of Garden Grove. I think as a council as a whole, homelessness obviously is at the forefront of something that we're all very passionate about, wanting to tackle and find solutions and productive ways to combat this crisis here in our city. The street medicine program, Be Well, our special resource team, now this navigation center coming online. We just have so many resources at our fingertips that we've never had before. So much just collective synergy within our city to try and tackle this crisis. And so I think to the community, if you're wondering what is Garden Grove doing about homelessness, we're doing so much. And so I really want to make sure and invite you to not only look at our city website and our homelessness plan, but to please talk to staff or talk to us as your council members and learn more about what we're doing, because we truly are doing some incredible things for our city and our unhoused. I wanted to mention vector control briefly. Obviously, it's been raining cats and dogs for days and days. The best and easiest way to prevent mosquito breeding in your neighborhood and also to prevent West Nile virus is to dump and drain water. It's as simple as that. So make sure as this rain is clearing out to check your property for standing water. It can be in something as strange as a tarp maybe in the backyard or a child's toy that's left out, but just please check your property. And also calcium deposits that build on, say, like a terracotta pot or something in your yard, that can actually be a breeding source as well. So just take a look at that. And then finally, I wanted to congratulate Lisa Kim on her appointment to city manager. Lisa, you are a professional through and through. Your dedication to your staff, to the city, is just so amazing. Your tenacity, your vision, and how you just tackle any project. I'm looking forward to working with you more closely, and I know you're going to make Garden Grove proud. So congratulations. Thank you.
Kim?
Thank you. I have a couple items, so I'll try to go quickly. Just wanted to piggyback off Councilwoman Klovenstein's comments regarding Cal Optima street medicine program. As a former employee of Cal Optima and someone who has advocated for the last 6 years on this dais regarding focusing on the whole person care approach to our residents, not just focusing on like the streets, potholes, water, public safety, which are all very important, but we have to understand that there's a lot more going on with our residents and that we have to do the best that we can to ensure that they can thrive in our city. And that has a lot to do with the programs that we're launching now with the Navigation Center, which will be in my district, street medicine, all the other things that we have going on, and to all the staff members and all the different departments that have been involved in making that happen. I want to thank you. I had the pleasure of having lunch with the Southern California Association of Governments Executive Director last week when he came to visit Orange County as the representative for Cypress, La Palma, and Garden Grove on the SCAG Regional Council. I made sure to vocalize my severe apathy towards RENA and how Garden Grove was allocated the second highest number of units in the region, and how unfair that was and how detrimental that will be to our residents. Because we were 3,000 city residents short of the exemption that the cities of Anaheim and Santa Ana and others got. So I made sure to stress that as much as I could. I tried to have him drive a specific way to get to Sabroso Mexican Grill so that he could see what I was talking about. And so hopefully that visual was painted very clearly in his mind. I also attended the State Board of California Cities. Yes, the League of California Cities, sorry. We changed to Cal Cities, so I keep trying to remember to say Cal Cities. Board meeting last week over 2 days. That's 50 council members throughout California that meet. We do have chiefs of police and city managers that attend as well as representatives for those respective boards. And the hot topic there was ballot measure initiatives that would be detrimental to cities and local control. So a lot of at-length discussions on how we would be focusing and combating that at the city level. The other thing is the SCAG General Assembly will be May, I think, the 3rd to the 4th. I really hope that my council colleague and alternate Councilmember Tran can attend. I have 2 years left on this dais, and I need to start transitioning out those roles. I've worked really hard over the last 6 years to make a name for Garden Grove at a state and regional level, and I just want to make sure that that work continues on when I'm gone. The mayor and I met with the Mexican consulate and Doctora Gomez last week also. Hopefully Director Montanchez is still listening. We may be bringing back the idea of a sister city with Mexico. Sorry, but hopefully would like to revisit that. She also enlightened us of several programs and initiatives they have through the Mexican consulate that I would love for staff to learn about and figure out how we can partner with, as we do have a significant population in Garden Grove, Latinos, specifically Mexicans. The second to last thing I want to say is the commission appointments. Those are being delayed in part to me, probably only me, and I'm okay with that. I think that it's imperative and critical that we make sure that every district is represented on those commissions, so that we're getting the right voices and true representation on there. And unfortunately, you have people from all walks of life that can't come to these meetings, that can't go to those meetings, but that want to participate. And when you have, I want to remind everyone that before these districts maps were created, there was no council member that lived east of Euclid. Now we have 2. And it's important that we invest time and energy in bringing in disenfranchised parts of our communities into the process, because you can't expect that when you set something up and you invite, post the invitation, that people will just come. You have to meet people where they're at. And we have to make sure that that accessibility is across the city. And I don't see that in the applications that we have received. While we have received a lot, I don't think that it's quite 100, maybe not hundreds, maybe 100, but I don't know that it's that many. And we also have to have turnover of those who are on these commissions. While it's great to have folks that have been there entrenched for years and years and years, we have to slowly transition that over so that we have a wave of new leadership coming into these commissions that can learn from those that are there, that have been there, for the future progression of this city. And lastly, we said goodbye to our former city manager, Scott Stiles, today. And I did not cry, so I was really proud, although I know he was looking at me and I almost did. We're going to miss him. I've essentially grown up on this dais, and under his leadership for the last several years. I was elected at 25, and so I'm blessed to have been here during his tenure and the mayor's as well. But I'm really proud and excited to have an AAPI woman running this show now. I just thought about it because I saw Maggie, who is a city manager for city of Fountain Valley here, and I just realized that our 3 neighboring cities will now have an AAPI woman running the helm. So it's really exciting to see, and I know that we don't oftentimes see women and women of color in these positions, and so it's exciting, and I know that little girls everywhere will be looking at that and think they see themselves in the representation, and so it's exciting. And Lisa, I look forward to working with you. I know you've gotten to work already on some things that I've already bothered you with. So thank you, and I look forward to doing another tour. I do want to acknowledge the fact that you did actually already do a tour of my district early on when I first got elected. I believe the mayor drove us all around. So I'm looking forward to do that again and pointing out some other spots that have had any change and that need to be focused on. And with that, I just wish you the best, and I'm excited to at least be here for 2 years to get things started and moving forward and hopefully transition on to someone else. So thank you, and I'm excited for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. City Manager Lisa Kim, anything to add under matters?
I just want to thank the council for your trusting me. I'm excited for this new chapter in my career, and Councilmember Dovin, I'm excited to make an additional 7 fat years on the horizon. And just to piggyback on David Dent, our building officials' comments, I do want to celebrate the dynamic team that pulled together to put Gigi ready, and acknowledgement to Anand Rao, our IT director, and his team, that backup house, and putting this system to connect to our website and all the nuances to deliver technology. It's a dynamic team we have, and I'm extremely proud to, have the central management team that we have. So thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you. General Counsel, any reportable action or need for a closed session?
Nothing today. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. I would like to close tonight's meeting in memory of Victoria McKemmy, a longtime resident of West Garden Grove who tragically passed away from her injuries sustained in a collision with a wrong-way driver. Vicky moved to Garden Grove in 1980 with her husband Thomas and dedicated her life to their 3 children and grandchildren, as well as a 41-year career serving others in the healthcare services industry. In the words of Vicky's granddaughter, Laura Herzog, everyone who knew Vicky knew her to be a woman of faith who sprinkled love and joy everywhere she went, and that she has left a deep void. And in the days ahead, Laura asks you to love like Vicky in honor of her mother who did life her way, which was rooted in the words from 1 Corinthians 16:14. Let all you do be done in love. And with that, we will stand adjourned.